Hey, everybody. Coach Hadassah here, metaphysician, personal development coach, wellness entrepreneur, and proud founding member of Extreme FX Global Academy because the money resides where Bitcoin and Forex collide. And we are doing our 15-minute mindset. And we're basically recapping what I talked about earlier in our hour of power about breaking the menial task mindset, right? Oh, I got so many notifications coming up. Yeah, but breaking the menial task mindset. And so, but before we get into that, I want to start off by saying, um, inviting you all to, you'll see it coming scrolling down, representing there, the Extreme FX Young Guns Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program. Like we're having tonight, I'm going to let you know all about it. Ages 8 to 21. I want to say it's 8 to 21. It's either 8 to 18, 8 to 21, but I believe it's 8 to 21. And this is where we're telling you all about how we're going to teach your kids. I got to stop saying kids because they're not baby goats. We do not want them to be goats. Well, we do. We really do want them to be the greatest of all time. Right. But anyway, uh, we want to just let you know all about that program and how you can get your children over here in our Young Guns Youth Entrepreneurship and Development Program with Extreme FX Global Academy. Here's the thing. What are your children doing this summer? Right? What are they doing? I mean, I don't know. You might have plans for them, but here's the thing about it. The great thing about learning this skill set is that you could do it anywhere. You could be anywhere. Anywhere. There are children that are trading and look in their classes. They're sitting there making money from off their cell phones, right? In class. So that's the beauty of it. But the children learning this skill set so that we set them up for a better life and not continuing to give them this old paradigm. You know, we're still educating our youth with that, go to school, get good grades so that you could get your diploma and degree so you can get a high paying job that we all know. We know, right? Like our generation knows that that's not working. It's not. So that was an old paradigm that I can't even say it worked very, very, very well for the baby boomers generation, but it kind of did, right? It did and it did up until they retired, because then they saw that they kind of got the bad end of the stick. You worked 40 hours for 40 years to retire on 40% of your income, retirement, or whatever. That's a bad deal. That's a bad deal. And we're still teaching our children that if you really talk to at least now look, some of the baby boomers were able to not only just do the whole of 401k thing, but they really invested outside of that too. Okay. They invested outside of that and they were in better financial positions, where most didn't do that. But why are we still teaching our children that's gone? That paradigm that ended in 1970. Gone. That world ended in 1960, and that paradigm ended in about 1970, 1971. But we're still teaching it. And then, really more so of the millennial generation got the bad end of the stick, like for real, for real. So you have a lot of the generations that especially like the millennials because they're adults, and then the baby boom. It's kind of like these two generations are kind of bumping heads because it's like they still think that this, oh, you just do that, and all these, they don't want to work. It's like, no, it's not that they don't want to work. What they don't want to do is be a slave, right? And then telling and having somebody tell you that you're only worth this much, having expensive pieces of paper, and the freaking income doesn't even pay you enough to pay off your student loans, because you got loans and debt. And and when you go try to buy a house, of course, they're looking at the debt to income ratio, and it's like, okay, well, you have employment, but with your debt to income ratio, with all of these student loans that you don't have enough to pay a mortgage. And that's where, you know it's like, those that world is gone, but a lot of those in that generation seem like they don't listen in order for them to even know and understand where this other generation is coming from with that. So here's the thing about that, especially, with like I consider myself a zennial. Zennial are those that are in between, and especially when you look at it from an astrological standpoint, is like, yes, I have Pluto and Libra, which is most of your generation X, that generation. However, I have Uranus in Scorpio, and which that's when you ushering in the millennial generation that has Uranus and Pluto in Scorpio, right? So I have Uranus in Scorpio and Pluto in Libra. So I see both sides. I see, where it's like, you know, yeah, we gotta change the game with this generational stuff. And then, the Pluto and Libra part is, okay, but we're gonna negotiate and balance this out. Whereas the straight up millennial generation with the Uranus and Pluto in Scorpio is like, oh, we just destroying all of this in order to rebuild. But you'd have to contact me about, about how you want to chart read and all of that. All of that goes up under the metaphysician title. So, but here's the thing about that. With our generation as the Zennials and Generation X, we're at that point where we can teach our children, which is generation, oh shoot, I forget, is it Z or Y? I think it's generation Z. I forget. I forget which one. I think it's generation Z and Y, where, they came up in a world with all of this technology, smartphones, information at their fingertips, access. Things happen fast, speed, and they don't have dial up like we used to have. When the computer and internet and all of that kind of stuff started, right? They don't have to wait 30-40 minutes to get on the internet and then hope somebody don't call you to, while you in the middle of dial up, knock it out, right? Okay, generation Z, right? So like my children, the so I have a set of millennials. Those are my first three. And then I have a set of Gen Z, right? Because I was a teen slash single mom. I was a teen mom slash single mom. So my children that were born that are millennials, you know what I'm saying? They like, we really grew up together. And then the 11-year gap between the two sets, and then my generation Z, they're growing up with this technology, you know? So we have that opportunity to teach them in the generation and world that we live in now, not the old paradigm that is gone. Like, it didn't even work good for us. So why would we continue to teach that? So when we're teaching them And this because oh, education is the way out. Education is the proper education. Being educated about what really truly matters, being educated about the truth of the world as it is and stands today, right? And then moving forward. Like, yeah, we have to know history in order to know where we are now, but then you also have to know the truth about the history in order to know where we are now and where we're looking or planning to go in the future, right? Um so this is what we want to do and share for our children. We no longer want to teach them work hard, work hard, work hard, work hard. We talked about that earlier. How that's that slavery mindset. That's that slavery mindset. Your value, or not your value, but the value. Yes. Oh, I thought you needed me to go with you. Nah, Jill's gonna take me. Oh, okay, okay, that's cool. All right. See, see, didn't I talk about that earlier? That's my son. He 18, right? He don't need me to go. And I'm not looking like, oh, you don't need me to go with you to the doctor. All I no, oh, you don't need me to go. Okay, cool. Let me know how that work out. you mean, you know what I'm saying? Independence. Go. I done been with y'all to the doctor all your lives. Ooh, I ain't gonna know what to do when I'm totally free of that situation. You need me, I'm there. If not, you got it. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, but teaching them that work hard, work hard. That hard work had a value attached to it when you're a slave. When you're a slave, you want to do that. But when you're attempting to at least free yourself, or you are free, right? You're free to work smart, not hard. You're free to work with your mind, or like Adrian Dynamite Sloan say, not your back. Ain't nothing wrong with working with your mind at all. And especially in this system that we live in, this capitalistic system, you got to know where you at. You have to know where you live, right? We live, and most of us were born in this country, a capitalistic system. The root word of capitalist, of capitalism, is capital. Capital means head. What can come from our head? Ideas. We capitalize on ideas. We put them out there. We make out a plan, a vision, and then all of that kind of stuff. Conceptualize it, put it on paper, get a team, and everybody come with their ideas and really formulate it, map it out, plan it out, and then boom, execute it. Now you got a service, a product that you can see. At least maybe everybody can use it, or a certain demographic or target market or whatever can use it. But it all started with a concept or an idea, and you were able to capitalize on it and what? And become wealthy and make money. Because listen, look, I was a former licensed cosmetologist, right? It's this book called Secrets, Secrets of a Millionaire by T. Harv. I think that's his name. I remember that my takeaway from that book was this: the difference between products and services. He gave a scenario and said, like, say, for instance, you have 6 million people outside of your office, but they all want to spend their money with you, nobody else. They want what you have, and they all outside of your doors. Now, if you have a service, depending on what that service is, tops, you may be able, maybe, like, again, depending on what that service is, may be able to see 15, 20 people. Maybe. But you got 6 million people outside your door that want to spend money with you. Money in hand. We ain't going nowhere. We right here. You trying to see 20, and you can only get to 20, 15 to 25 people a day with 6 million people outside your door. How much money are you losing per day because you can't see all of them? You can't service all of them. But if you have a product, and look, you have a product, look, and you have 6 million bottles, right, of whatever it is. Guess what you could do? All the people can get it. They want to spend their money with you. If you could put it in a bottle, or whatever, whether it's a digital product or a physical product or whatever, and you can you can mass produce that where it can reach 6 million or more people, then guess what? Depending on, look, the math, if your product is $60 or $150 or $1,000 or a million, whatever, you do the math. 6 million times whatever the amount of your product is. That's how much money you made. So think about Jeff Bezos, especially during the pandemic, where people needed things, but they could only order it because we shut home, stayed down, all of that type of stuff, right? All of that. Okay, do the math. That's why he became a billionaire in the pandemic. You had people that was looking for jobs. I mean, not jobs. They were looking for income. That's why you had people that was becoming millionaires and billionaires in 90 days and everything during the pandemic. They had something that people wanted, needed, and they could get it quickly through the press of a button on the internet. These are that's working smart and not hard. You had folks that, look, if you wasn't an essential worker, meaning if you wasn't in the medical field or working at the grocery store where you could, the people with the food, you was at home. So that's the thing about it. If you cannot physically work with your body, that would be working hard, right? What are you doing in order to get to the part where you work smart, working with your mind? This is what we need to teach our children how to do. And this is what we are teaching our children in Extreme FX, with the Extreme FX Young Guns Youth and Entrepreneurship and Development Program. It's time out. Like, why do we? It's like this was said yesterday, and I'll continue to say it. And if you figure out where you are in these 3 stages, are you still breaking generational curses? Are you breaking into generational blessings? Are you leaving a legacy? Because those things come in stages. But when you break this one, you got to get to this one. Generational blessings. In the scriptures, it talk about the benefit. Everybody want benefits. People work jobs for benefits. Oh, I got to stay on the job for this long because then that's when my benefits kick in. I can get my health insurance. I can get but if you made enough money, you could buy your own. But people are afraid of not doing that because it's like, oh, it costs a lot of money. Well, make a lot of money so that you can buy your own health benefit packages. Man, we got a compensation plan that's anywhere from $500 to $1 million a month. If you making $50,000 a month, you can buy your own health benefits, right? You can get your own. What do you mean? Well, my plan with my benefit, and then you can buy the best. You can search them out yourself. Get your own. And this opportunity is not, man, it's a drop in the bucket compared to, it was some math that we did today, and then I'm off of here because, of course, my 15-minute mindsets are never 15 minutes. My 15-minute mind resets are never 15 minutes. All right. I just want you all to know that it just looked good on the stream. People like, oh, it's just 15 minutes. No, it's not. Okay. But we're gonna try to make this at least 25 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna give you a little extra 10 for the value. So um today, Megan on the training, right? She was talking about the coffee. See, people don't understand how a little bit of money adds up. It be the little bit, right? Everybody looking for the big money. It's that little bit of money. Okay? Because here's the thing. We don't, because listen, now I have some services like my personal services and everything. Yeah, those are high because I spend a lot of energy with the client. And because of that, you know, those have to be, those services have to be higher. Then I got to get off here for real because my battery about to die. But when it comes to products, I really try to make my products be less than $25. There's a reason for that because people don't think about spending $5.95. You don't have to make a major decision to do $5.95. You don't have to start thinking about, okay, well, if I spend this $60, I got to move this around, or then, you don't have to do all of that. And so doing a product and it's like $5.95, $10.99, $8.88, something like that, you ain't thinking about